Welcome to Keentel Engineering. EMT simulation resolves the power network at microsecond time steps, capturing switching transients, control interactions, and fast dynamics that phasor domain tools average away. That fidelity is essential, but it comes with a cost. The studies we are asked to run keep getting bigger and more numerous, and a single solver on a single core leaves most of a modern workstation sitting idle. In this video, we cover how Concurrent EMTDC addresses that through two strategies: data parallel execution for large parametric sweeps and task parallel execution for very large individual networks. We walk through the architecture, the communication bottleneck, how high-performance interconnects break it, and 3 case studies that show what these strategies produce in practice. Concurrent EMTDC runs multiple solver instances at once, coordinated by PSCAD. The two parallelism strategies target fundamentally different engineering problems. Data parallelism splits the conditions, not the network. Each solver instance runs the same model independently with different inputs. Because the runs do not communicate with each other, scaling is near ideal. More cores means more runs at once. Task parallelism splits the network itself. One large model is divided into coupled subsystems, each on its own core, exchanging interface quantities with its neighbors on every time step. Coupling is tight, communication is constant, and latency becomes the dominant limiting factor. The choice follows directly from the problem. Parametric sweeps and optimization studies are data parallel. Accelerating one very large network is task parallel. Data parallelism in Concurrent EMTDC is built around a master-slave arrangement. The master case holds only decision logic, an optimizer, sweep generator, or search routine, computing new conditions each round from results returned by the slaves. Slave cases are copies of the real EMT model. Each receives a condition, runs the full simulation, and returns its result. 3 terms govern the setup. The simulation set is the full collection of EMTDC instances to be generated and launched. You run the set, not the individual case. The volley is the number of slave instances running in parallel. On a 4-core machine, a volley of 3 keeps 3 solvers running while the master holds the 4th. Rank is an index from 1 to n assigned to each run, letting each model self-select its own row in a parameter table without external coordination. For very large sweeps, hundreds to thousands of runs, Concurrent EMTDC supports parallel multi-run. A profile like 500 by 24 means 500 total runs, at most 24 concurrently. On a 6-core hyper-threaded machine, running roughly twice the logical core count concurrently is the practical rule. The snapshot mechanism eliminates a separate inefficiency. When every run begins with the same pre-event window, resimulating that identical window thousands of times wastes compute. Instead, one run captures the full network state at a chosen instant. Every subsequent run starts from that snapshot, skipping the pre-event window entirely. Data parallelism is essentially completely scalable. Inter-run communication is negligible, and the only practical limit is available cores. Task parallelism answers a different question. How do you accelerate a single large network that is too slow or too large for one solver? The network is divided into subsystems, each running as a separate project on its own core. The split is made across transmission lines. Traveling waveline models naturally decouple the 2 ends by approximately 1 time step, so each end solves independently without accuracy loss. Unlike a parametric sweep, subsystems are tightly coupled and exchange interface quantities every time step. Communication latency, not raw compute, becomes the dominant factor. Uneven subsystem sizes compound the problem. Fast pieces wait on slow ones at every step, and the speed up evaporates. To isolate communication cost from parallel compute benefit, IEEE 14, 39, 78, 118, and 300 bus cases were chained into a ring, up to 7 pieces, each on its own core of an 8-core machine. The pattern was clear. At 14 buses, communication overhead completely swamped compute. Splitting made things slower. At 39 buses, overhead still dominated. At 78 buses, cost and benefit were roughly equal, a break-even point. At 118 buses, speed up reached approximately 2.5 times. At 300 buses, the fixed overhead became a small fraction of runtime and scaling was strong. The lesson: the benefit of splitting depends entirely on subsystem size relative to communication cost. Smaller computation grains use more cores, but only as far as you can stay ahead of the communication limit. On a standard localhost TCP/IP connection, a round trip takes approximately 20 microseconds. Across machines over standard Ethernet, that rises to roughly 230 microseconds, about 10 times slower. When 78 buses is the smallest grain that breaks even, the only way to split into smaller pieces and put more cores to work is to make the communication layer faster. Raw compute is not the bottleneck. The wire is. Standard TCP/IP is slow here for two structural reasons. The OS kernel handles every transfer, and data is copied multiple times between buffers. Remote direct memory access, RDMA, eliminates both. It moves data directly from one machine's memory to another's, bypassing the kernel entirely, with a dedicated adapter processor performing the transfer in hardware. The numbers show the difference. Local host small packet latency drops from roughly 20 microseconds under TCP/IP to approximately 0.9 microseconds under RDMA. Cross-host latency drops from roughly 230 microseconds to approximately 2.9 microseconds. For larger 8 kilobyte packets, TCP/IP latency rises substantially, while RDMA stays far ahead. Subsystems that could not break even over TCP/IP can scale profitably over RDMA. Within a single machine, shared memory is faster than any network protocol. Concurrent EMTDC uses lock-free FIFO buffers for intra-host communication. The lock-free design is deliberate. If the OS sees a process blocking on a lock, it may deprioritize that instance. Keeping every solver visibly active ensures the scheduler runs all of them at full speed. A 22-machine doubly fed induction generator wind farm produced 23 executables, more than one host could hold. Spread across 2 machines over the high-performance fabric, wall clock time stayed flat at roughly 27 seconds, whether running 10 or 22 generators. Over standard TCP/IP, performance would have degraded sharply the moment the split crossed hosts. Point of interconnection studies for inverter-based resources now require EMT domain models to capture control interactions, subsynchronous behavior, and weak grid stability. And those studies multiply quickly across many fault positions, dispatch conditions, and configurations. Data parallel execution turns a multi-day parametric or fault scan study into an overnight deliverable. Task parallel execution paired with a high-performance interconnect makes it feasible to model a wide-area network in full EMT detail as one coherent case, not stitched together reduced equivalents. For utility-scale renewables, battery energy storage, and large load interconnections, that is the difference between a representative answer and an approximate one. 3 case studies show these methods in practice. The first is automated control tuning via master-slave. Serial tuning left most cores idle, while one solver worked through candidates sequentially. Moving to master-slave ran 3 parallel solvers on a 4-core workstation, reaching convergence in approximately 74 to 75 runs in a fraction of the original wall clock time. The second is a high-volume parametric study using parallel multi-run and snapshots. Hundreds to thousands of runs were needed, and re-simulating the pre-event window each time was wasting enormous compute. A snapshot was captured at 0.45 seconds. The run profile was 500 by 24 on a 6-core hyper-threaded machine. The third is a region-scale EMT decomposition over RDMA. A 2,500-plus bus network needed full EMT fidelity as one coherent case. All-in-one runtime was approximately 56 minutes. A 10-way split over the high-performance fabric brought that to roughly 6 minutes. A 10-to-1 speedup, near linear with the number of splits. Here are answers to the first 6 frequently asked questions about parallel EMT simulation. What is the difference between data parallelism and task parallelism? Data parallelism runs the same model many times independently with different conditions. Task parallelism splits one network into coupled subsystems that exchange data every time step. One is limited by cores, the other by communication latency. Do I run the individual case or something else? You run the simulation set, not the individual case. The set tells PSCAD the full collection of instances to generate, how many to launch at once, and how they interconnect. How are subsystems coupled in task parallelism? Across transmission lines, the traveling wave model decouples the 2 ends by roughly 1 time step, so each subsystem solves on its own core without accuracy loss. Why did splitting my small case make it slower? Communication overhead per interface is roughly fixed. On a small subsystem, that fixed cost dominates the compute benefit, producing negative speedup below the break-even grain size. What subsystem size benefits from splitting? It depends on interconnect speed. Small subsystems lose time, mid-size breaks even, large ones scale nearly linearly. A faster communication layer lets you split smaller, profitably. How much slower is cross-machine TCP/IP? Roughly 230 microseconds versus 20 microseconds locally. About 10 times slower. That gap is the main obstacle to spreading tightly coupled simulation across machines. What is RDMA and why is it faster? RDMA moves data directly between machine memories, bypassing the OS kernel and buffer copies. A dedicated network adapter handles the transfer in hardware. Local latency falls to roughly 0.9 microseconds, cross-host to roughly 2.9 microseconds. What are Volley count and rank? Volley is the number of parallel slave instances launched simultaneously. Rank is an index from 1 to n assigned to each run, letting each model self-select its parameter row from a table. What is a snapshot and why use one? A snapshot captures the full network state at a chosen instant. A bulk study starts every run from it instead of re-simulating the identical pre-event window thousands of times. How many concurrent runs are practical on a hyper-threaded desktop? Roughly twice the logical core count. Joe out a 6-core, 12 logical core machine that is approximately 24 concurrent runs, expressed as a profile like 500 by 24. Why avoid locks in the shared memory path? If the OS sees a process blocking on a lock, it may deprioritize that instance. Lock-free FIFO buffers keep every solver visibly active so the scheduler runs all at full speed. Can these methods scale beyond 2 machines? Yes. Data parallel studies scale with available cores across an entire network fabric. Task parallel work targets a unified fabric combining shared memory for intra-host and RDMA for cross-host communication, enabling dozens of splits across many machines. Let's wrap up why parallel EMT simulation matters. A single EMTDC solver leaves most of a modern workstation's silicon completely idle. Concurrent EMTDC fixes that by running many solver instances at once, all coordinated through PSCAD. There are really 2 ways to parallelize. Data parallelism runs the same model many times in parallel. Parametric sweeps, Monte Carlo screens, and since each run only communicates once at the end, scaling is close to ideal. Task parallelism is different. It splits one network across multiple cores using the traveling wavelines as natural decoupling points, but every subsystem has to trade data on every single time step. That's why grain size decides whether this actually pays off. A small 14-bus system split across 7 cores actually lost time. A 78-bus case broke even, and anything from 118 buses up scaled cleanly, because the fixed communication cost shrinks relative to the work being done. Network speed matters just as much. Standard TCP runs around 230 microseconds cross-host, but RDMA over InfiniBand drops that to under 3 microseconds, which is what makes wide-area splits practical in the first place. In one real case, a 10-way task parallel split of a 2500 bus, 900-line network took a switching study from 56 minutes down to 6, with near-linear speedup and 0 cross-host penalty. If your project needs large-scale PSCAD or EMTDC study design, Keentel Engineering can help. Visit KeentelEngineering.com. Thanks for watching.